Fitch here, your direct sales expert. I am coming to you live from sunny Southern California with my friend here, Mr. Frank Destra. And we're going to see, okay, I see we are live on Facebook, so we are in good shape there. I'm checking out and okay, there goes there goes YouTube. And here goes, I'm hoping that Periscope is going. So we shall see. Periscope, are you going to let us down? Are you gonna, okay, there we go. Frank, looks like on Periscope, I'm going to try and get in there. It looks like you were a little bit, okay, there you go. You're good. You just look like you're laying down on Periscope. I know you're not, but it's just the angle. Okay, guys. So welcome to the broadcast. You guys know I am here to try and deliver you value every day. And I decided today was a good day. You guys know that a few weeks back, well, what's it, a month now, Frank? It's been a month. So a month ago, what's that?
You've been off for a couple of weeks already. Or
okay.
Did for 2. I think you've been off for 2 already.
Okay, so about 5 weeks ago, I think Frank is an Optavia health coach, and so I did their program. So today we're going to talk a little bit about that. Hey, Stacy, welcome to the broadcast. Good to see you, honey. And Bobby, thanks for being here. Those of you on Periscope, if you guys would put your name in the chat, I would appreciate it. And Frank, you can't do that. You're on a live stream, man. You cannot. I mean,
I'm fixing my.
Did we not talk about this already, Frank? You got to step up your game.
Making sure I'm dressed here.
Hashtag pants optional is not really an option on my show. I know that's a
you ever have that nightmare like, should I have my clothes on while I'm doing
my gosh. Aaron, welcome to the broadcast. So for those of you guys who are new to the broadcast, we appreciate you guys being here. Patricia, welcome. Patty, it's good to see you. Dawn, I'm super excited. And I am going to make some announcements. I'll let you guys know about some cool stuff. So what we're going to kind of blend these things in because, it's almost second quarter. And I want you guys to recognize, I hear a lot of people say a lot of stuff about, the year's already started. I'm going to wait until this. I'm going to wait until that. So what I'm going to do is give you a 10-day conceptual pass to say, all right, now I'm going to get started right now so I can really crush it in the second quarter of 2019. Because if we're not prepared to crush it, if we're not prepared to, kind of get our groove on, then what are we expecting? What do we think is going to happen if we keep on wanting to do something and yet we don't do it? So I'm going to talk a little bit about Frank. We're going to interview him a little bit about why he became a health coach and what happened, because health is one of those areas that we tend to neglect now. And I have some, true confessions that I'm going to share with you guys as well today. Because sometimes I get caught up and neglect my own health too. I'm very disciplined, and yet if my kids are having an emergency or something's going on, the first thing that goes out the window is my workout, right? Hey, Fast Times, welcome to the broadcast. And you guys, by the way, I'm jumping into the broadcast and I forgot to ask you, would you please hit that share button? If you guys are finding value, or my regular followers, my Perry peeps, my Facebook fans, if you guys would just go ahead and share that on my YouTube, my lovelies over there on YouTube. Thanks for being here, you guys. I appreciate you. So, Frank, let's talk about that a little bit and we'll blend in, because we want to make sure that people recognize their own value and that they start utilizing the skills and tools that they have right now so they can start to crush it. Now, you had a crisis of health, right? And that's one of the things that, because you lost 80 pounds. Am I right?
Absolutely right. Yeah. To this point, I'm 80 pounds from my highest weight. And yeah, it was crisis mode. I was to the point where my sciatic nerve had gotten to the point where I was having trouble. Kind of my turning point was going to Las Vegas last year in April and not being able to walk end to end in the casino, having to sit at slot machines halfway through to get up to the room, getting out of an Uber and stepping off a median and felt like I tore an ACL. It was just my sciatic nerve. I literally started sweating. I went into shock. I thought I had torn something. Felt like that.
Oh.
Yeah. So, on the way home from Vegas, I told my friends I was with, I said, that's it. I got to get this weight off. And they kind of giggled at me like, yeah, right. Why now? But in my mind, I knew it was time to turn.
So Frank, what is it why do you think you started gaining weight?
Just life happens, the kids come along, like you say, when time restraints happen, I'm a machinist by trade. I've worked in machine shops. My typical work week is a 54-hour work week with his half day on Saturdays, 10 hours a day. So to get home after 10 hours and go, I'm going to the gym now, was just, not realistic for me. Like you said, it's the first thing that goes is your workouts.
Right.
So
We abuse ourselves. We don't take care of ourselves.
right. So little by little, and then my eating habits. You know, I'm Italian, so growing up in that environment, and then on top of it, you know, my parents and my grandmother owned Italian restaurants growing up. So I mean, everything was food. I mean, we gathering everything was what's for dinner. You
Right.
know, or people are coming over. What's for dinner? Where are we going for dinner? Everything revolved around food in my family. Thus, you know, both parents, both brother and sister, ended up being basically obese.
Mm.
So
And Kimberly Davidson is here and she says, is that Rancho's Mr. Frank Destra? Kimberly, it is Mr. Frank Destra. And if you guys would do me a favor, hit that button. And Frank is sharing today. So he's an Optavia health coach. And so, you know, Frank, you got certified as a health coach. And that's part of the Optavia program, correct? But there's actually some training that's involved.
there is, yeah, we go through a online training to get certified, and we receive official certification saying we've gone through that training. So yeah, that's just like an incentive that they give us as a health coach. You don't have to be, but the incentives are so strong that they want you to be knowledge and know what you're talking about, and,
Sure.
and understand more about health and wellness to get certified than not be certified. It's just a no-brainer to do it and take the time to get it done.
Well, and that's, like I said, that's why we're doing this broadcast today, is because we want to, first of all, I want to remind you guys that it is time, right? It's time for you to step up your game. It's time for you to take care of your health. You know, I'm only 22, but Frank is, Frank's a little bit older because he did graduate a little before me. No, but
Yeah.
as we start to age, I mean, the fact is, you know, at 40, they say your eyes start to go. I feel like I was blessed with surgery. Like I had some LASIK surgery, and you know, so I extended that out. That, you know, here at 51, yes, I am 51 in, you know, in the alternate reality world that I'm not 22, and that you know, so my eyes are different. I do have to wear cheaters, or we do have to do things, but the fact is that, you know, menopause stays, like I don't have menopause yet. I'm not in that situation. And when you keep your body healthy, you're able to stave off some of those things for a little bit longer. Just like you were talking about when you were heavier and, you know, you thought you tore your ACL, your body started sweating and you went into this reaction. We do have some control over our health. And it's by eating right, it's by exercising, by taking care of ourselves and making ourselves a priority. So how did you make yourself a priority after that situation? You know, now that you've lost the weight, because it would be easy to go back to doing what you did when you're not in the pain that you were in before. So what, you know, answer the first one and then I'll tag on that second one.
So as far as priority, I mean, the priority for me was literally like laying down in bed at night and still being in pain, not just like when you're putting weight on your body.
Sure.
Don't forget, when every pound we're putting on our body, more than we should have on our body, it equates to 4 pounds on your bones for the 1 pound. So it's 4 times. So every pound that came off my body relieved that sciatic nerve that much. So that was the main thing, is just getting that pain where I could lay down at night and rest comfortably. I had gotten to the point health wise where I was using a sleep apnea machine. I had actually gone through, both my parents and my brother had gone through the gastric bypass class, or they'd gone through the procedure. I actually went through the 12-week class to do that, but never committed to doing it, you know? And then when I was approached by my coach about doing just a wellness program, I thought, well, and the way she explained it is she explained it very well, that this is a lifestyle. This is not just a quick, you know, get a surgery or take a pill. This is a lifestyle change,
right?
Which felt more comfortable to me because I did want to change my lifestyle. So I thought, before I go into the knife, you know, because you don't know, you might not wake up from going into the knife. You know, there's no set thing to say you're going to wake up, and they're very clear on that when you take the course at Kaiser. Like, you know, this is a major deal. It's not just you know, you're going in for a little thing. So it was scary to go into the knife for that. I've never even broken a bone, so I haven't been in the hospitals too many. So hospitals scare me.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, it's interesting because we don't know what's going to happen. And so that's why I wanted to talk about this tonight. Like I said, preparing. We've got to prepare for what's coming in our future. If we want to be successful in business, we've got to prepare. We can't just wake up one day and go, "Hey, it's time to be successful," right? But we can say, "It's time for me to get my butt in gear. It's time for me to take myself seriously. Time for me to take my business seriously. Time for me to take my health seriously." time for me to really, today's the day. And that's why the broadcast is called Today's the Day. So I want to help our, the people that are watching today figure out how to make today the day. Now, I'd love for you guys to put a 1 in the chat box if you're finding that you struggle with keeping your health intact, like, or your weight or your eating habits or your sleep patterns. I've been listening to a book called Thrive by Ariana Huffington, and she goes through some data and statistics there about sleep, and that I think she said there's 11% of people worldwide that are diagnosed with ADHD only have sleep problems. So a lot of the kids, it was 11% of the children that were not getting enough sleep. And so when you don't get enough sleep, it makes you act kind of like it's not, I don't know that I would call it hyper as much as, but they say it's hyper, but they don't want to sit still and they don't want to do things because they're whiny and cry. It's like they're struggling. So whether those statistics are correct or not, I don't know, but it certainly is interesting that a lack of sleep, health, overweight, like you were saying, you had a sleep apnea machine. Those things all contribute to our overall health and our overall ability to be able to do what we need to do, right? To take care of ourselves. So, how do you think the average person, what do you think would help them to recognize that value and be ready to make a change?
Well, I mean, for everybody, it's different. Every situation, one thing I'm learning with this is everybody's got their own story.
Mm-hmm.
My story is, like I said, I'm suffering from 7.3 diabetic condition, sleep apnea machine. The gout would become like I'd go out for all you can eat sushi, and the next thing I know, my arm would be like where I couldn't even make a fist. And my wife, we went to my parents, and my mom's like, I think you're having like a stroke. I go, no, I don't feel like that. But she was worried, like I've never felt like that where the gout set in like that quick. So all these things were just kind of snowballing for me. And for some people, it's just going to the beach one day and realizing I'm not really comfortable taking my shirt off or being in so everybody's got their own thing in their mind, what's going to flip that switch for them. Whether I actually made contact with a lady on Facebook, started chatting with her, and she said, yeah, right now I need to lose some weight, but I don't have no health problems. The next morning, she posts a picture of her face like this, and she says, that's the look of a face when a doctor tells you have to go on blood pressure medicine. So here she is telling me she didn't. So I messaged her and she goes, I know, I was going to call you. I'm not taking their pills. I'm going to come over. So, I mean, it just, yeah. So for her, it was her doctor telling her, and she doesn't like taking medicine. So everybody's got their turning point is what I'm learning. And when they decide to, hey, that enough's enough.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, and that's the thing is that we've got to, today's the day. And so, we're not going through a full long broadcast today. We want to answer some questions if you have some, but I wanted to, we wanted to give you an update. And, technically out of that 3 weeks, I was 3 weeks I did the program, right? Wasn't it, Frank? Was it 2 weeks or 3?
I think I got you a 2-week supply.
2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
Was it 2?
Okay. I think it was 2 and you lost like 8.6 pounds.
Yeah. Right. And I think that there would have been a couple other pounds because, it depends on if you're weighing yourself at the same time and stuff. And of course, there's different times in our lives and monthly cycles and stuff that our weight will adjust. But 8.5 pounds over that short period of time. And the point is that it was simple. And that's what I think most Americans, especially, and most, active people, when you're really active, especially in business or, in your work life, being able to, grab, like I have one of these left. These are so yummy. The silky peanut butter and chocolate chip. Yeah. So, it's like I was having these at 3:00 every day. So I just, I had just adjusted my schedule. So I had a bar, and I had this, they have this delicious caramel macchiato stuff that I would mix in with my coffee. And it was really cold. You guys, as you know, it was raining again today, but it's been really cold. So it was really kind of a cool treat. So all of a sudden, when you know what you're going to eat and when you're going to eat it, or approximately, or you have a bag of snacks and you're just going to grab something out of there and have it at these 3-hour intervals, it's simple. When you free your mind up from having to make decisions, because let's face it, I don't know if you guys need to face it. I'm going to be honest. I am so busy that if I have to go to the fridge to get something, I'm tempted to grab something easy, and it's not usually Dave saying no eating during the broadcast. I know, right, Dave? That was hilarious when I did that. I had the caramels in my mouth, and I'm like, but I go to the fridge, and then what? I need something fast. So, I typically do a keto diet because I'm hypoglycemic, and trying to, and I keep the make sure my fat content is there and make sure I have enough protein so I don't get dizzy. But so if I don't have any meats in there, like, or a string cheese, then what do I want? Like, I want something fast because I'm busy and I got to go to the next thing, and I want to grab a cookie, or I want to grab something that's not healthy. It's not, and carrots don't do it for me, not because they're not good for you, but because carrots are high in sugar. I can't grab an apple. If I have an apple, I have to have cheese because of my blood sugar. So the program was very simple. And that's one of the things that I appreciated about it, is that I could have stuff in my car when I was going somewhere. All I had to do was dump some snacks in my purse, and then have like a salad. I would have a salad to make sure that I stayed, that my blood sugar stayed consistent. So simplicity is important for most entrepreneurs. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys, that don't make, this as an excuse. It isn't easy, right? It's simple to do plans like this, but it's not easy because we have to change our mindset. We have to change what we're doing. And so but it's simple. So just do it. Today's the day. Today's the day for you to decide that I'm going to have a healthy business. Today's the day you're going to decide to have a healthy body. Today's the day for you to decide to make a change. So let me see if there's any questions. Hey, hearts and stars, welcome, sweetheart. Thank you guys so much for hitting the share button, sharing this out. I'm going to try and monitor the questions. As you guys know, sometimes I don't get to see the Facebook questions until much later. It's funny. I refreshed and I see it says I have 6 comments, but I can't see it. Oh, there we go. Okay. Bobby says 1 + 1 = 2. Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate that. I don't know. That was from earlier when I said put a 1 in the chat box. Don put a 1 in the chat box. Kimberly had just asked about you. So guys, if you're here, I can see more of you are here on Facebook. If you put your name in the chat, we'd appreciate it. Ken is in the house. Welcome. Thank you. Hey, hearts and stars. Welcome to the broadcast. Again, we really do appreciate you guys. I see Patricia over here. And so what questions do you guys have about your health? And then I'm going to make an announcement that's really good for me, and it's not as healthy for you, but it's still good for you. So I'm going to tell you guys about it in a minute. So,
touching on what you just talked about as far as the simplicity, I have to say that's why this has worked for me. The simplicity of putting snacks in my drawer at work, taking them when I go on a hike. And just being able to open it, because most of it is open and eat, or throw it in a microwave for a minute and eat it. Simplicity of it, not having to weigh. So, because I've done different programs, I've done Weight Watchers where you have to count. They give you a calculator and counting calories, or like a.
I feel dizzy when people start giving me calculators. Like, okay, no.
I just want to. I'm on the run. I'm opening. I'm opening something, eating, and going back to my business. And the fact that I can eat 6 times a day, these little micro meals, and not be hungry. I don't know if you ever felt the hunger pains during your process, but for me, that was the biggest surprise, is that I wasn't hungry.
I never felt hungry, but being hypoglycemic, I bet there's something in your program that we didn't have, that had some more, had a higher fat content or something that would help me, because I did feel dizzy, not dizzy, but I felt like I couldn't concentrate. And I'm a pretty sharp thinker. So when, especially writing these books, when I feel muted, I know that it's my blood sugar is dropping. And so that is the only thing that I found that was a little bit challenging for me. But then, like I said, I would just eat a piece of ham or something. So I stayed on program, but I also kept, my health, because that's obviously important. So I bet there's a little adjustment that you can make with a higher fat content.
And we do like celebration calls week 1, week 2 with clients, and talk about where they're at, what stuff like that. And if we have to adjust, because right now we start pretty much everybody on a 5-in-1 program, 5 of the micro meals and 1 of your own homemade, if you will. Sometimes we'll adjust that to a 4 and a 2. If a person, especially with a diabetic condition, some people need that second meal. So, so it is a tweaking and adjusting on some folks. Some folks are fine on the 5-in-1, and your body just kind of adjusts to that as well.
And Bobby's saying, I relate to this topic because I have tons of health problems. So, Bobby, what kind of health problems do you have? We have a few minutes if you even want to jump in on the call with us and ask Frank some questions, or if you want to type them in there. Because, like I said, that's what that's what we need to do. We need to, band together, because when, Frank lost 80 pounds, I can't imagine losing 80 pounds. Like, I think that's really awesome. I know I gained 80 pounds with each pregnancy, and it was really hard. Now you think just because there's a baby there, but your body is different after a baby. I mean, and nursing does not get rid of all the baby weight. At least for me, didn't do jack diddly. So, and I'm not a big eater. Like, I can eat. Don't get me wrong, people. If you've ever seen me, I like a pancake breakfast. Girlfriend can eat, but I also work out, and I also
four of Simone's crepes.
Oh my gosh! Which, speaking of crepes, Bobby, I'm going to let you in 1 second. Speaking of crepes, that's the perfect segue. I'm just gonna.
You like how I did that?
That was good. Okay, so I'm gonna do a plug for my book. For book number 1, I'm doing a book signing tomorrow at Delightful Crepe Cafe. Oh, the crepes are good, right, Frank? Frank, Frank just fudged on the program a little to have some, right?
Breakdown. Yeah, your band's got to live, right?
But tomorrow night in Long Beach at Delightful Crepe Cafes, Frank's actually going to be there as well. Excuse me. Bobby, you're in the local area. You could head out there with us. You could talk to Frank. We're going to be having, okay, now I'm going to choke. It's like I start thinking about those crepes.
Yeah, I'm going to have to put a sign up, a 2 crepe limit tomorrow night when you get there.
Right. It's like I probably a half crepe limit. But you guys, so we're going to be there tomorrow at doing a book signing for my book. Frank's going to be there. Frank is the one, he invited me to come and speak to his Optavia mastermind group. Well, a mastermind group, not just Optavia people. But I went there, and this is a really cool group of people that are connected and really care about each other. So I really encourage you to come meet some really neat people. Also, I'll do a book signing. I'm going to do a book reading. We're going to give away some prizes, including some of the food there at the cafe. She's also serving hors d'oeuvres to you guys, and I will be giving some stuff away as well. We'll be using social media for tweet draws and a few other things to allow you guys. I'll even give you some social love. So if you guys are trying to build your own following, I'll tell you guys how to do that. We're going to talk a little bit about a lot of stuff, but hopefully you can make it. There's a link on my website. On the Facebook page, there's an event there that you can go to, or you can message me and we'll send that to you, and I'll put it in the chat in Facebook. Bobby, I'm going to open the room in case you want to come in and ask Frank some questions really quick. And if you guys have some questions, pop them in the chat and let us know, because like I said, Frank wants to help. And that's, like I said, I appreciate people that actually are committed to trying to help others. And that's what it's all about. And like I said, today is the day. That's what we're trying to. Hey, Hans Freller in the house. Welcome, Hans. It's so good to you. It's so good to see you, sweetheart. If you guys don't know Hans Freller, man, Hans, I cannot wait till your book comes out. As a matter of fact, if you still need people to read it for a review, send me a copy. You can send it to Messenger or send me a link for it. And I just finished up another book, so I would be happy to start that one for you. It's called Walking on Glass. Hans has an unbelievable story. I consider him a very dear friend, and looking forward to that. So welcome to the broadcast, Mr. Bobby Stamps. How are you?
Hey, Vicki. Hey, Frank.
Hi, Bobby.
Yeah, I just was listening to what you guys were talking about, and yeah, I'm at the point where Frank was when he decided to help himself. So that's where I'm at. And also I'm being held back by, I'm the stay-at-home dad, washing the clothes and trying to get, the 12-year-old to do the homework.
Right. That's stressful. So that actually produces cortisol, which makes us even retain more weight, right, Frank?
Yeah.
It does. And I can imagine, like, I do a lot better, truthfully, when I'm at work away from the refrigerator. I don't keep stuff in my refrigerator at work, but home. So I can imagine if I would have been the stay-at-home dad, I would have been 400 pounds. Having access to the food all day long, it wouldn't have been good.
So I am feeling, the numbness in the feet, and lately I've had kind of like a carpal thumb syndrome. Like my tendon down the arm is popping. And then I did fall. I was taking a picture of a flower on an overpass, bending down.
On an overpass?
Yeah. And luckily I didn't hurt myself that bad, but I did fall over backwards, lost my balance.
Oh my God.
And and I'm still, I feel like, I hurt something, in my body, and my body doesn't heal as fast anymore. I'm going through, the over 50 type syndrome. And I definitely need to, like, jog, walk every morning and watch my diet, and maybe even get a job and put on I have a t-shirt just like Frank's from my job I retired from. But yeah, I totally relate into what you guys are talking about. Yeah.
Well, and so Bobby, what are you doing like or are you looking for ideas like to how, like you said, when you're a stay-home dad, it makes it a little bit challenging because kids don't, salad is not their top thing that they want to eat, right? And so there's all these temptations and things that are around, and looking for suggestions maybe to how you can work out with the kids and get that exercise in. How old are your kids?
12. Yeah, definitely.
You just have one child?
Yeah, just one child. Yeah. God bless. Yeah. Luckily. I don't. Yeah.
I hear you. I have two. And when people tell me they have 8 and 12 children, I'm like, I just bow. Like, okay, I'm just not worthy because I don't know how you do it.
So yeah, the first, the only question I have for Frank is, did you go to your doctor for that, that push to help you, to, like get all your levels and all that to help you to calculate what you're going to do in your game plan to lose all that weight?
To tell you the truth, I went to the doctor to get approval due to the gastric bypass, which they approved me for. That's why when part of that process, they said, hey, you have to get checked for sleep apnea, which I did, which they were, you're off the chart. You need to have this machine. So that kind of got me into the sleep apnea machine. I recently, about 4 months ago, went in and got retested, which they said, no, you don't need that anymore, which is not a guarantee. And they told us that going in, that just because you lose weight after the surgery doesn't mean the sleep apnea is going to go away. I was one of the lucky ones that did. So it was strictly just like my diabetes was weight induced, the sciatic nerve. So pretty much everything that I had has turned around. Your body heals itself. When you put good stuff in your body, it'll heal itself for the most part. And mine has. I'm very fortunate and lucky and blessed to have been not pushed myself to the point where it didn't reverse itself.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I'll ask my doctor if I can get one of those gastric things.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't get gastric bypass.
I didn't do the gastric. I went through the whole process of it. I did not pull the trigger and set the date for a surgery.
He wants to know what you did do, Frank.
Right. So basically, it's going back to the doctors. That was the doctors saying, let's go get the surgery. Before I did that, I was contacted by a coach, and she kind of went through a health assessment with me, and I decided to give this a try and do it because it is a lifestyle change. It's habit-based. So you're learning healthy habits on how not only to get the weight off, but to keep it off long-term. My coach has been on a program for 4 years. She's down 150 pounds and has maintained that weight. So it is a long-term. It's great seeing like the community of people that are doing it, and how, like you're talking, you have a 12-year-old. Now you're kind of making food instead of ordering Pizza Hut or these different places. Now we're making cauliflower crust pizza and healthy pizza where we can still enjoy stuff, but we're just substituting some of the stuff that is putting this weight on us and not making us healthy. So we're learning how to make a little bit more healthy choices.
So Bobby, I don't know if you saw the broadcast a few weeks ago, but I had, Frank, I went on that program. It's very simple. It's very easy. It's something you could do with your kids around for sure. And then, like you said, creating, you're not homeschooling, right? You're the stay-home dad, but you're not actually homeschooling, right? Your kids go to is it a son or a daughter?
Son.
Okay. Does he go to school?
Yes.
Okay. So you have the opportunity, like even to maybe do some walks or do some other things, or of course, housework is can be some of the most strenuous exercise like you can do. I know whenever I'm home doing stuff, I try and do it really hard. Like I try and do it, so I'm sweating, just to make sure. But if you're looking for something to work, like I said, in 2.5 weeks or something, I lost almost 9 pounds. And, and we know some of that's water weight, but if you're looking to get healthy, having a coach like Frank or someone, and then they teach you how to do these lean and green meals, which is something, my whole family, they were very, proactive in the process. So it's very simple. So you might consider that. Maybe you
All
and Frank
right.
can talk.
Bobby, you were local. Where you located?
Yeah, I'm in Temescal Valley where everyone's stepping on the poppies. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
out, like
Elsinore, right?
Elsinore way. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So
Excellent.
we're going to bring this. I'm going to answer a couple other questions that people have here, and we're going to kind of wrap up things here. But let's see. I see. Oh, Miss Denise Medina is in the house. Welcome, Denise. Good to see you guys. And hey, welcome. It's good to see you. There's a few. I don't know how to answer that question exactly. I'm not sure if that's a typo. I'm gonna just go with typo unless you ask again and get that one right. But people are wanting to know, Frank. I know that typically this is not something, and so he might not want to answer. They're asking like what the cost would be. So I'm gonna pop in something really quick and say most programs you need to know what the program is versus just the cost, and the fact that you're building in and you're getting someone that's actually going to coach you and walk you through the process. So it shouldn't just be based on those costs, but just recognizing that. So
yeah, I don't mind sharing the cost because basically the cost is driving through a drive-through at any fast food restaurant nowadays per day. Cost is cost of it's going to be basically the same with what you're spending on food right now or less. For me, I know I'm saving money on food, the amount of food I used to eat, And like I said, depending on, like with Bobby, if he's interested, I'll get on the phone with him, find out exactly what his needs are and put together a program for him. Most people were looking at right around $12.50 a day, depending on their needs, which, like I said, for $12.50 a day for 5 meals, I mean, in today's market, I just went to Sprouts. I mean, you can't get out of Sprouts. We're less than $60 anymore. I mean, for a couple nights dinner.
No, I can't get out of anywhere. Like that's like, well, I got 2 boys. Both of them are 6'3" now. So I got 2 boys, and they eat, especially the little one. He just eats and eats and eats. And it's good. He eats healthy stuff. But anyway, you guys, Bobby, did you have any other questions there?
No, I don't. Thank you very much. And thanks for having me on, and I'll see you next show.
You're welcome, Bobby. Thank you so much for joining us.
Have a good one, Frank.
All right, Bobby, if you want, get in touch with me through Vicki, and we can, like I said, we can talk, find out what your needs are and see if the program fits for you.
All right. Thank you very much. I'll be talking to you soon.
Bye, Bobby. It's nice to see you, sweetheart.
All right. Bye.
So guys, again, today's broadcast is about today is the day. Today's the day to make a change. Maybe yours isn't, maybe it's not health, but in my experience, most people have something going on with their health, whether it's sleep, whether it's their eating, their weight, their exercise program. And when we stabilize that part of our lives, we can stabilize another part of our lives, that part of our lives for our business. When we have that foundation that's solid, we can move forward and excel better in our business than we can when we're trying to flail around with a lack of sleep and, where we can't focus or we can't pay attention. So I want to encourage you. We've got 10 days right now. It's 11. 30 days has September, April, June, and November. So we have 31 days, right? So we have 11 days left of this quarter before we go into the next one. If you're interested in getting your health on track, talk to Frank. I mean, message me if you want. We'll connect you and Frank. You guys, it's got nothing to do with me, you guys. This is strictly just trying to connect you guys, recognizing that some of the main concerns people have in their business is when they don't feel well, when your health sucks, right? Or when you feel like, I can't imagine feeling like Frank was. That's not good. And look at him now. He can fit in his Letterman's jacket from high school. I've seen those pictures. And, so when we represent, that's what we need to do, people. We need to represent and recognize our value. And the announcement I was going to make, Bobby is here. Ricky Prime in the house. Bobby's over here in Get Vocal. Come and Get Vocal platform, Bobby. You can even pop on with us for a second. But we're going over to Delightful Crepes Cafe, and Ms. Dawn Craybaugh has made some custom treats. I will be giving out some of my custom treats with the book purchases tomorrow. They cannot be purchased anywhere else because they are made custom. They're custom. Can I tell them that part? I don't know. Well, I'm going to say it anyway. They're custom colors. They're custom blends. They're custom names. Again, you cannot buy these anywhere. The only place you can get them is tomorrow with me at the book signing. I believe Ms. Dawn Craybaugh is coming as well. So we're going to have a great group of people. So if you guys want to get some custom treats done, definitely want to come tomorrow because Dawn will be there. This woman's fantastic. So yes, there's going to be a lot of temptation there. That's why you can start your program the day after. You can start it on Friday with Frank, and take advantage of the opportunity to come meet and network with some people that are amazing. I'd love to sign a book for you. I'll be doing a book reading, so you'll get some motivation and encouragement. I promise you, if you're in the same room with me, there will be motivation. There will be inspiration. Right, Frank? Tell him, Frank. Tell him.
Definitely. Everybody fell in love with Vicki when she came out and spoke to our group. They just they can't wait because you're coming back. What about 2-3 weeks? You're going to be
I think April something. I think in this, is it the 6th? Something like that. It's coming up very soon.
So yeah, we're excited to have you back. We have a new location. It's real quaint. We have a little area where there's one of those fireplace barbecues that everybody kind of sits around now. So it's a little more of an outdoor setting, but it's really quaint. I think you'll enjoy it.
Oh, I'm so excited. If you guys, like I said, if you're in the Long Beach area tomorrow, or you can get in the Long Beach area tomorrow from 6:30 to 8:30 tomorrow night, appetizers will be served. There'll be prizes. I'll be doing a book reading, book signings. You'll get to meet me. You'll get to meet my family. If you haven't already, some of my old Rancho buddies. I got some of my new friends. I got some of my clients are going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to meeting some new people as well. So guys, today is the day. It's the time for you to make a change in your life. I'd love for you to get my books, right? Because honestly, as a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you a quick little story. One of my new team members, because many of you know I started my own publishing company. We decided that my publisher couldn't keep up with us. Hey, welcome to the broadcast. Appreciate you guys being here. They couldn't keep up with us, so I started my own publishing company. So I had to hire. I think I hired 7 people, so we could. I have a new editor. I've got a new graphic artist, and somebody's doing layouts. And I mean, it's been a whirlwind. My life has been a whirlwind. But one of the new people said, this is the best job ever because I'm learning about myself and I'm growing. Why I get paid to do that while I'm doing my job. So it's just really, when people that let's face it, employees do not have to grow from what their employers do. They don't have to read or do what they, but when they are, then that it gels. It's just a really cool thing when you can help other people just watching your journey. And I think that's what Frank does, is that people are inspired by watching his journey. They recognize the value, just like he watches Monica and her journey of losing 150 pounds. And, it's just, again, that's what it's all about, is inspiring other people and being willing to step up and share what you're doing and trying to help others. Everybody's, in Direct Selling 201, I think it says some will, some won't, some do, some don't. So what? Next. Right?
Yeah, it's a personal decision where people have to decide, like I said, enough's enough. And all I can do, I'm not a salesman. All I can do is share it. And I feel like at this point, it's worked so well for me and the people around me that's worked. I know I believe in it 100%. So I have to share it. Yeah. That's really been one of the toughest things, is like being in a public setting and seeing somebody sitting there that definitely, I would love to, but how do you approach a person like that you don't know?
I can teach you that.
When you have this gift that you can help a person, possibly save a life, how do you approach a person without getting slugged in the head, I
can help you with that, because it's all about talking. Seriously, it's all about having a conversation. It's all about caring about how they feel and what they're going through. That's the door that opens. And when people see that you actually do care, it's okay that you have a solution. It's actually even appreciated. When you walk up going, I got something for you, then it's about you. And then that shuts people down, but you're not that way anyway. So Frank, you're like in Direct Selling 101, you'd be more like the backpedaler, right? Because you're so want to make sure that nobody feels like you're doing something wrong, that they would actually maybe have to tackle you going backwards, not literally, because you offer up, you use words, so I was just goofing around about that, but you're more of that backpedaler. There's no way anyone's ever going to accuse you of being, overbearing or manipulative, because it's just not who you are. So anyway, I can help you with that.
Yeah, any ideas like that? Because like I said, it is a gift I feel I have. So if you share that gift,
absolutely. Well, Dawn says the Fitch candy line, and she says, that her daughter loves me too. Hey, I love that. See, that's cool when you can really inspire the daughters and stuff. You know, we're not just inspiring our own audience, but we're inspiring the other generations. Tom, my Weema in the house. We are just signing off, Tom. Ricky Prime, I miss you, my friend. Let's connect. He's my pal in New Zealand. So is and by the way, if you guys are still here, Hans and Ricky, I'm so sorry for the tragedy that's going on there in Christchurch. And you know, you're in my prayers. I really do appreciate you guys, and I can't wait to come back to New Zealand and visit you. Anyway, guys, we're gonna get going because we're trying to respect your time here, but I do appreciate you guys. I hope I can see you tomorrow night in Long Beach, California. Go to my Facebook page, Vicki Fitch. It's at Vicki Fitch 1. You can have the information there, and Mr. Frank Destro will be there as well. Hopefully, are your daughters coming, Frank?
Nikki's, I did mention that she's actually doing a facial right now, but she said she was going to check her schedule. But yeah, she definitely wants to meet you. So in fact, I'm thinking about, because my parents are both local, I was going to see if my mom and dad want to come down and meet you as well.
Absolutely, I would love that.
You know, I'm going to wear my Letterman jacket. I know Vicki's going to wear her cheerleading outfit. So
for sure, I'm totally wearing that thing. And let's face it, people, when you're well, how old was I? 15, 16 years old. And then you have babies, your hips do spread a little. I'm just saying, it's really hard, not weight wise as much, weight too, but you know, it's hard to get in that. I'm going to bring it with me. And you're going to go, Vicki, that wasn't yours. I go, I was, Frank. It really was. I can fit a leg in it right now.
Yeah, somebody posted a picture of you, I think, playing volleyball, was it?
Yes,
recently?
yes.
Yeah, you were like a twig.
I've always been a pretty thin girl. Like after the babies, things changed a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I was pretty thin. I mean, seriously, I mean, when you think about it in comparison to what you really need to keep your body going.
Well, that's the thing is like when I catch myself, like I'll be walking, I'll see a shadow of myself. It's like, I'm really not that big of a guy. I always consider myself a big guy. I'm really not that big of a dude.
Yeah, right. It's like the shadow's gone. What happened to it?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate all of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Dawn. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Frank, I can't wait to see you tomorrow. All of you that are coming, if you haven't told us already, please, you can RSVP on Eventbrite. You can do it on my website. It's a free event. Going to be a lot of fun. And, you know, like I said, I'll have some books there. I'd love to sign a book for you. I also have some special packages and some, you know, special opportunities for you. So I will. And by the way, if you guys need a speaker for something, send the people over there that are in charge of speaking. Have them come check it out. Meet me, say hello, get some, try the crepes. Holy Toledo. She's going to be passing out. Like I said, there's going to be hors d'oeuvres. She's passing out thing. I'm telling you. You guys want a meal? And by the way, I should have told you this before. Come hungry, because she actually is doing this special $5 menu that you guys can purchase things for $5. And this, right?
Simone, $5.
Fantastic. What'd you say?
Simone, $5. I'm there.
Right? This food's phenomenal. So you guys got to come and get it. So guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. I will look forward tomorrow. I will not be on my regular broadcast, but you will see me live streaming. And until next time, I want to remind you, like I always do, to dream it, believe it, and achieve it. Ciao. For ciao, Frank. Come on, Frank. Give it to him. No, Frank. That's right. Oh, what's up?